Hey guys, it's Christy here with another card making video for you today. I wanted to introduce you to these new ink pads that are taking the craft world by storm. These are called the Memento Luxe. They are made by Sukaneko, and they are a pigment ink that is great for stamping on card making, but they're also great on a lot of other surfaces. They have great coverage. And, well, let me just show you, okay? I'm going to be using this Dreamy Daisies stamp set by Stamp It Australia. And I'm going to take this butterfly stamp right here. And I'm just going to show you what they look like. These Memento Luxe colors are available in the regular Memento colors. So today I have Love Letter, which is a great red, and Espresso Truffle, which is kind of like a charcoal gray. So I'll give you an idea of what both of those look like. It's a foam pad there. You can see it's pretty wet, and just want to ink up our image. And by the way, I'm using a piece of like craft foam underneath. When I want to get really great detail, I break this out and stamp on that. It just gives a little bit better bounce to the stamp, so it's like a little cushion, and it makes for a really great impression. I don't use it all the time, but when I want an especially good image to come out, that's when I use it. So there we go. And there's a look at that ink. It's got really great coverage there, really glossy. You're going to want to heat set this if you're going to use it right away. It is going to stay wet for a little bit longer. Like I said, it is a pigment ink, and if you've ever worked with any kind of pigment inks, you know that they take a while to dry. Let me just set that one aside for a minute, and I'll get a baby wipe to wipe that off in a second, and I'll go ahead and show you the Espresso Truffle with this daisy. So just ink that one up. Got nice coverage there. And I'll go ahead and stamp that down. I like to just give it a minute for the ink to transfer since it is so fluid. And there you go. You have a really beautiful full coverage daisy there. You wouldn't be able to see if there was like a print, if it was on pattern paper or anything. You wouldn't be able to see any of that show through. The ink would completely cover all of that. So another thing you can do with these inks, like I said, they stamp on more than just paper, is you can stamp on fabric. And that's what we're going to do for the card we're making today. I've taken some of this rolled up canvas that you can buy in your local craft store, and I've stamped on this with the butterfly and a sentiment, thinking of you. I did that yesterday just to give it drying time. Like I said, you could also do it with your heat gun, but with the fibers there, I was a little bit concerned about the possibility of warping or scorching. So I stamped that yesterday night, and now I'm going to use that on today's card. Just to give it some stability, I took a little piece of scrap cardstock and I adhered that with just my regular Scotch ATG gun to the canvas, and it stuck very well. So we're going to be using a regular standard size card, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and I've trimmed out this kind of a quilt pattern to adhere to our card base. I'll go ahead and do that. just line that up. Get that adhered on there. I also have this corrugated kind of cardboard paper here. It's on like a little backer sheet. And I love texture on my cards, so I thought this might add a really great element. So I think I'm going to tear off a strip. One tip when you're tearing off paper or tearing edges, if you tear toward you, you're going to get this nice edge like that. If you were to tear away from you, I'll show you up here, you don't get that edge. You see how that tan doesn't show up? So it's just you know, depending on the look you're going for. So I want to have some of that show through because I think it adds a little more character, a little more for the eye to look at, a little more rustic. So let's see here. I am going to take my little focal image here and see where I want to add that to the card. I think down here looks good. So I'll take my ATG gun again, and I'm just going to put some adhesive on there. Kind of place that where I want it. I don't even need to line that up because it doesn't need to be straight. That's the look we're going for. And then I'll just open my card up and trim off the excess. Okay. There we go. I'm also going to take some twine and I'm just going to wrap that around my card a couple of times. Again, I'm going for a more artsy look, so I'm not going to do it in straight lines or anything. I'm just going to tie it on as it goes. Just pull those ends until they're the size we want them. I'll go ahead and trim that off. I'm going to take a little bit of this extra piece here and I'm going to thread a button, just a random red button. And then I'm just going to tie that off on the top. And I'm going to trim that down a little bit. Save that extra bit of twine for another project. And then I'm going to take a glue dot and get that ready there. Add that to our little bow. And then I'm going to take my focal piece, slide this down a little bit so it's going to show. And that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put foam adhesive on this part up here. And because of the bulk of this, I think I'm just going to put some regular adhesive with the tape runner down there. So we're just going to go ahead and adhere that down. And there we go. We have kind of a rustic, artsy card using some great different kinds of fabric and textures and the twine, and it's got a great look in real life. I'll give you a close-up there with all the different texture there. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.